Hi, this is Sue from Createful Journals, and this is the May 2023 monthly inspiration training video where I take one template from the monthly pack and I give you some ideas on how to customize it. So for this one today, I'm taking the Nurses Day template, and Nurses Day is on May the 12th. And just as a side note before we begin, if you go to Etsy and search for nurses, there's lots of printables and products and stickers and things like that that you could make around nurses. I was doing a lot of research the last few days, so it might be something worth looking into if you want to even just like target some more specific nurse type of products. There's seemingly a nice market for it on Etsy and probably other places too. Anyway, so let's get into the training. So this template, we have 3 layouts that you can see on the left here. So the first one is just about qualities of a great nurse, and you can change the qualities in here if you want to, just rewrite them. Then this is all about International Nurses Day, how and why it became this way. And then, of course, it's all to do with Florence Nightingale. So you could actually create something based around her as a little, maybe just another page, her achievements, what she is, things like that, and have like an information page. So that would add another page to this template right there. And then we'll just go through the other ones. This is just like a journal type of page. The last times when you have been assisted by a caring and selfless nurse. So, and again, you could do this pack from like a nurse's point of view and then from like a patient's point of view. So you could make like 2 different versions of everything here. So this would be more like a patient, the treatment that they received and everything and what helped, and then about the gratitude to a nurse who has helped you. And then we just did like a fun coloring page type of thing on here that you can do it. You could have this into a kid's activity book, and so you could just make some more content to go with this one here, why you want to be a nurse, that type of thing. So again, you could actually create, so a nurse template for a nurse, so a patient little nurse appreciation thing, and then you could do like a career nurse type of pack as well. So why would you want to be a nurse, or I want to be a nurse when I grow up, and things that you'd have to do, and just like fun pictures. So you could do just from this one template that gives us 3 different ideas that we could do for that one. So let's just go in and start making a few edits. And like I usually say, just to duplicate the slide, and then you have the original, and then we can come in here to the copy, and then we can just kind of see what it's all about. So again, go to the home and select, because I like to get the selection pane in here, and then you can see all the different layers. So you can just take them on and off as needed. Just move that out of the way. Okay, so then you can see all the different layers. So we can hide everything. Okay, there we go. And then, like I said, go back from the bottom, and you can see that we just put in an image. So now to change this image, you could just come to picture format and then change picture, and then just go from stock images online, and then you can find some free ones if you want to change this back image. And then we have the rectangle that we put up here. And of course, depending on what image, you could just do the colors to match the image. So this is all like the greens and blues that we stayed with here. And then we just put the rectangle on here. So you can just see how we built the page. And then we've got the text, and then more text on here. So again, you can have the date in here, or you might just want to put this, even just like some prompts in here without the dates. Or just make it very generic. And then we have the text box that we did up there. And then we added these pictures. And again, we've put a frame around them. So you'll see that when you click on the picture. And then you can see the picture border. We've got the picture borders in here. So you can change it again to what you want in here. You can change the shape, make it oval. So you can come in here and change that. So right away, that gives you a different look to your image. Even if you cap the same image, you can just change the outside of it there. And then once you were to change something here, then you can just change the weight of it. So you want to have a thicker or a smaller border, you can change things in here. You can change the colors as well. So again, you can just change those out or keep them as is. And then we just put a shape on there just to kind of give, just add a little decoration to the page. So you can click on that, you can see how we've made that from the shape in here. And then the next one is some more text that we added. Then we added, this is a table, which is to find it easier that way. And then again, if you wanted to change the color of the table, it's table design. And then you can come in here and change, if you want to change the background a little bit, if you wanted to make it blue, peach, and any other color that you want, you can do that in here. And then we've got the other table at the bottom, the same idea. And here is where you would change the lines, would be, you've got the lines here in the pen color, so you would just select a different color for the line. And if you wanted to change the format of the line, then just come into like the dotted lines, dashed, whichever you would want in there. And then we've got another little shape that popped up over here. Yeah, so now you can see that all the pieces are on here. So if you wanted to, we could, let's see what we could do here. We could take out these pictures. And then maybe we want to make this larger, so we could just make that large here. So you just, if you can't find it in the layer panel, just if you click on it, then you'll see that it gets highlighted over here. And then all we could do in here is we could just maybe pull it over a little bit more. Then maybe I would go back and hide this box here. So I usually don't delete things if I'm just playing around. I just kind of hide it so that everything is still there and you can come back and change it again. So then we could change that one there. And then what I would do here is maybe just make this a little wider. And then you might even want to, you could actually change this into two columns. So we want to insert, which way do we want to go? To the right. Yeah. So then we've got, and now you see it here, the column is there. We just have to, if you want the border in it, we would just have to go and get the border. So you'd go all the way down and then table, go to the borders, and that would be the left border, and then click off of it, and then you can see that it put a border in that one. And then if you didn't want all these lines here, we could just come in and just delete those two rows, so there you have a space in between. So then, maybe you could have check boxes in here, check marks, and again, you could make this a little smaller, bigger, and you still have that picture. Or what you could do is just make this right over the picture, and then we're just going to change the transparency. So if you right click on the shape, then go to Format Shape, and then you're going to get the fill that will come up here, and you can just play with the transparency. So we could just make it transparent enough where you can still see the picture behind, but you can see all the text on there. So that would give us a different page right there. And then let's see what we could do with this page. Again, I'm just going to duplicate the slide so we keep the original. And again, we can just come in here and let's see, let's hide everything again. I just find it easier that way. And then we've got a nice image on here. And then you've got the rectangles that put the borders in. So again, this could very easily be filled. Just change the fill shape if you wanted to do some different colors on here. You might want to put the red there, and maybe red and the brown maybe. So something like that to make it look a little different. And then we've got the text up there. And then we put the table in here. So we could make this into like a journal page if you want. So you could just come in here and delete that text. And then come to the table design. And if we uncheck the header row, then that will change the height there. I'm just going to get it to work. You come to the layout, and if you want the height to be a little different, we could just make it a little different on that one. Or we could just leave that checked if you want to have this as like a title, and then you just add, prompts or a daily prompt. It depends on who you were making this for. So you do something like that, and then if you want more lines on it, we just highlight them and then insert below, and then you'll get some lines here. And if you want a bit more width, just pull the whole thing down, and then we've got a page of prompts, so you can use that for prompts here. And let's go back and duplicate that one again. And let's just see what we've got. Let's just go back to where we were. So we were at this point here. So again, now because we duplicated it, our colors are not on this one. So now you can go back and either change colors or keep this color here, so you can have some different color variations, and that's easily done just by duplicating it, change the color, then go back to the original one, duplicate that one, and you'll get the original colors in there too. So keep them this color, change them to the previous one, or whatever you would like to do there. And then we can just keep the text up here. So we had the table here. Let's just see all the other parts. So this is just an element. And then we've got another note thing here. So again, you could just make this into notes. So we could just have maybe a date. So somebody would write the date in here, and then you could just have notes, thoughts. So you could create like a different type of page with that one here. And now we've got another shape on the bottom. Right, so that's a different page that you've got there, and we can do the same thing going back to this page here. We could duplicate this, and then if you wanted to duplicate this shape up here, let's just copy it and paste it, and then we can just literally pull it up here, or you might want to put it in this corner, and then if you want to rotate it, you can just use the handles. Say we might want to put it this way. How would we want to? Maybe that way. So you can just rotate it, move it in. So now you've got the two different shapes. Again, then you could come up and just put those previous colors back in here. So now we have the different ones here. We used this one, I believe it was. So you can change the colors like that. If you wanted to, you could do the same thing with this, just copy it, paste it. Maybe you want to put it in a different spot here. And then they have the rotate under shape format. You could rotate it, so you can rotate right, left, flip, horizontal, whichever way you want to do. So you could add some of those around the page as well. You could add some different icons. If you come up here to insert and then go to icons, this will load for you. And then you could just see, let's see what they've got here. We might just want to search for medical or nurses, see what comes up. Now you've got some little, so you could add some little nurse type of things. You could add a picture here, symbols. So let's just say we want to add that one. So you can just select it and insert it. And then it's going to download and insert into PowerPoint for you. And we could put that up here maybe, and maybe up here. And now this is a graphics format, so you can either leave it as graphics and change the color. So you could do it that way. Let's say you wanted to make it like that, so you could do it that way. Or if you wanted to, you could turn it into a shape. Let's just duplicate this for a second. Copy paste it. Okay, now let's just go back to graphics. And the graphics format only appears when you have like an SVG icon that you insert into PowerPoint. So then we can convert it over to a shape. And now you see you've got the shape format at the top. And then we can do, the outline. Sometimes this doesn't always actually make very many changes. So I'm just going to do a bright color to see. So we've got the outline here, and if it's going to do a fill for us. So it didn't really do the fill. So, but you can see by the shape, it looks a little clearer than this one here. So you can that's a different way that you can play with the icons in PowerPoint to change them around. So that's some ideas there for you as well. And then let's go down to the last one, which is the coloring page. Again, so we can just duplicate it, and then we could make some changes. And we've got the selection page, so let's just hide it and start from the bottom. So you've got the background again. So again, you could change this background, and then you can change the look of it by going to the artistic effects. And this gives you, you can see the different views. So if you wanted more like a squares on top, you could add something like this to it just to make it a little different. So if you wanted maybe more dramatic, you want to do something like that to it. So that's a good way to change up the image again. And then from here, you could still go in and change the transparency. And then you've got something much lighter. So let's pick that one there. So now you've got a different look to the original. And then we can see what else. We've got the border at the top if you want to keep that throughout your pages. And then we've just got the shapes that we put in the text. And then you could just change all of this. So you could come in and then just change some of these if you wanted to go and find a different shape, or use the icons again, add in something different in here. So you could have that page, and then you might want to just leave maybe the nurse on, take some of this other stuff out. Let's leave the lines in here, and then so just hide some of this. And maybe you want to just make these lines more of it on the page. Oops. Let's undo. Undo is your favorite thing when it doesn't look quite right. Then insert below. And then insert below again. Now, and if you think you've got too many lines, you can just delete some, and then you may even want to put these over a bit more. So they kind of go behind her a little bit if you just want to have the whole page look like it's got lines on it. And then if you wanted to, from the table, so you could actually bring the table forward, so then she's going to go behind the line, so you can have that kind of effect as well. So that's a different thing that you can do here. And then you might want to bring this shape forward as well. And then so the corner is covered of the paper in there. So that's another journal page you could do here. Let's see, then we could, let's duplicate this one. And then we could just change this box into just a border, and you can just highlight everything, come down to merge the cells, and there you've got a blank page box already. And then what I would just do here is I would make, but depending, you want to go a little thicker. So if you want to have a thicker outline so it's easier to see, you can do that. And then you just go to outside borders, and now you can see we've got the thicker one. And then if we want to match the color, just hit it again, and then it changes color. So you can do something like that to give you different pages. And then again, we could duplicate this, and then we could just click on this, and we could just make it smaller again. If we just wanted to have a text box or just a blank on there, and then we could put one of the images back on. And just make this smaller, and then go in here a little bit, so you still got the coloring thing in here. And again, you could come and change, just go and find some different pictures to put in here. So let's just have a look at everything that we've done. So come to the slide sorter. I'll get rid of the selection pane. So this is what we started off with, was the three main ones up here, and then we created like the patient page. We just made it a different color a little bit. You could still change these two elements in the corners if you wanted to. And then we kind of designed like a diary, so you could do like a nurse diary as well, and that would be like the daily things. You could even put some appointment times in here as well, so that would give you another page to do, and then just a box for notes and thoughts. And then we had this one here, and we just changed the colors again just to add a little different color variation in here. So you can do same pages, lots of different colors. I see people selling a lot of things like that on Etsy. If it's just like 1 or 2 templates, then they just give you 5 or 6 different color variations, so people can select which one they want to print off, and then we've got the coloring page, and then we just made the background a little different so it's more transparent. And again, you could change the colors, so you could maybe make pinks for a girl, have the bluer ones for the boys. And then we just added full lines on this one. We added just a plain box, and then we just created like a little note box with the quote in here. And again, you could make more pages like this and just add different quotes, just to make everything look a little differently. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of what to do with this month's template. And this is just one of 5 that you get, and you can do the same type of things with the other templates. Just, think of journal pages, note pages, sticker pages, quotes. You might find one of them is more conducive to like put in a lot of journal prompts in, or affirmations, and make a nice, you could paste a nice big affirmation in here with a picture as well, so you've got a nice outline, and then just add your quotes and cards you can make just to add more to this one pack. So hopefully that helps, and if you have any questions, as always, just let me know, and I hope you enjoy this month's journal prompts.